Gava, Spain. Spaniards reveled in their newfound freedom this weekend after coronavirus lockdown restrictions were eased to allow healthy adults out to play sports and take walks for the first time in 7 weeks. Sigrid Cervera, 44, was heading for the sea on Sunday with her surfboard in Gava, a town outside Barcelona whose council has permitted access to the beach. "Yahoo!" she cried as she entered the waves. "I have not been able to go surfing for ages, so I am very excited this morning," she said. Under the new system, different age groups are assigned specific time slots to go out, while everyone must adhere to social distancing guidelines, staying at least 2 meters apart. While Spain remains one of the countries worst hit by the pandemic, with more than 217,000 confirmed cases, data released on Sunday showed 164 people had died in the previous 24 hours, the lowest one-day increase since March 18. Jordi Journet, 45, a musician who has been out of work since the start of the lockdown in March, was out jogging along the shore in Gava. "Last night I was running in the mountains where there were less people, but here there are more people out today," he said. In an effort to prevent overcrowding, Barcelona's city council has barred entry to its urban beaches, which can fill up even in spring, but instead thousands of people converged on the boardwalk that runs alongside the beachfront on Saturday. Similar scenes occurred in the capital Madrid, where parks and other large public spaces remain closed, forcing runners and walkers to share narrow pavements and walkways. The relaxation of exercise restrictions is one of the first steps in a 4-phase plan to gradually reopen the country by the end of June. Last weekend, children under 14 were allowed out for an hour a day of supervised activity. From Monday, businesses that operate by appointment, such as hairdressers and beauty salons, will resume limited services. In the next stage, outdoor seating areas of bars and restaurants will be allowed to open at 50% occupancy, while groups of up to 10 people will be allowed to gather in public places and in their homes. Environment Minister Teresa Ribera, who heads the committee responsible for unwinding the lockdown, said the country must prepare to live with the virus for a long time. "Until at least the beginning of October we will have to be very careful," she said in an interview with newspaper El País. Health Emergency Chief Fernando Simon echoed her sentiment and warned that containing the virus would depend on all Spaniards sticking to the rules. "There is a high probability of a new outbreak. We don't have any guarantees," he told a daily press conference in Madrid. Abidjan, Reuters. Ivory Coast's Prime Minister Amadou Gon Coulibaly, who is the ruling party's candidate in October's presidential election, was evacuated on Saturday to France for medical checks, the presidency said. The brief statement from the presidency on Sunday provided no additional details about Gon Coulibaly's health status. Gon Coulibaly, 61, self-isolated in late March because of possible exposure to the coronavirus but did not test positive. Defense Minister Hamd Bakayoko, who recovered from the coronavirus last month, will serve as interim prime minister in Gon Coulibaly's absence, the statement said. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara designated Gon Coulibaly in March as the ruling RHDP party's candidate for the presidential election after ruling out seeking a third term himself. Ivory Coast has recorded more than 1,300 cases of the coronavirus, one of the highest totals in West Africa, and 15 deaths.